Welcome to Lento English. Ready to level up your English? Here we learn through stories, slow, clear, and fun. Listen, relax, and enjoy the journey.
1. Introduction. Japan and Hong Kong are two very famous places in East Asia. Many tourists from around the world visit both of them every year. They are both modern and exciting places to see. However, Japan and Hong Kong are different from each other in many important ways. This story will look closely at these differences and similarities. Japan is a large country. It is made up of many islands, which means it is an archipelago. Japan has a long and important history. It is known for having very advanced technology and beautiful nature, including many tall mountains. Japan is a major power in the world. It has a very large economy and trades with countries all over the globe. Hong Kong is different. It is not a country. It is a city and a special administrative region of China. Hong Kong is much smaller than Japan. It is famous for its high density, meaning many people live in a small area. Because of this, Hong Kong has many very tall skyscrapers. It is a major center for world business and finance. People are interested in these two places because they are both successful, but their ways of life are not the same. They are neighbors in Asia, and this comparison helps us understand the region better. We will look at three main areas: culture, economy, and recent events. First, we will compare culture. We will look at the daily life, food, and traditions of both places. Japanese culture is often known for being quiet, polite, and organized. Hong Kong culture is usually fast, loud, and energetic. We will see how food like Japanese sushi and Hong Kong dim sum show these differences. Second, we will compare their economies. Japan is famous for making large manufactured goods like cars and electronics. Hong Kong is famous for banking, trading, and investment. Their roles in the world of money are different because one is a large country and the other is a small, specialized city. Third, we will look at a recent event. Sometimes governments have disagreements. There was a recent issue about treated water from a power plant in Japan. This event caused tension and led to new rules regarding seafood. This part of the story shows how political choices affect real life. This comparison helps us understand two important and unique places in East Asia. 2. The land and the city. Japan is a very large country in East Asia. It is famous for its natural beauty and its size. Japan is not just one piece of land, it is an archipelago. This means it is made of many islands, thousands of them, stretching far across the ocean. The land in Japan is mostly covered by mountains. About 3/4 of the country is mountainous. These mountains are often beautiful, and many people enjoy visiting them for hiking or skiing in the winter. Because the mountains take up so much space, most Japanese people live on the flat land near the coast. This makes some cities very crowded, even though the country itself is big. When you travel in Japan, you can see wide, vast landscapes, quiet forests, and long coastlines. The size of Japan allows for many different types of environments, from warm southern islands to cold northern areas with heavy snow. Japan has space for both huge cities and untouched nature. Hong Kong is very different from Japan. It is not a country, it is a specialized city area. Hong Kong is tiny when compared to Japan. It is much smaller, only a group of islands and a small piece of land called a peninsula. This land connects to mainland China. This small size causes a unique problem. There is very little space for many people. To solve the lack of space, Hong Kong built upwards. The city has thousands of very tall buildings called skyscrapers. These buildings reach high into the sky. Hong Kong is one of the most densely populated places in the world. This means many people live very close to each other in a small area. The streets are busy and crowded all the time. In Japan, the vast landscape allows people to see mountains and forests easily. In Hong Kong, the view is usually of concrete, glass, and thousands of windows. While Japan offers quiet nature and large open spaces, Hong Kong offers fast city life and extreme density. The difference between the quiet, sprawling islands of the Japanese archipelago and the packed, vertical city of the Hong Kong peninsula shows how two places in Asia can use their land in two completely different ways. Both places are exciting, but one is defined by its land and the other is defined by its tall buildings. 3. Food people love. Food is a central part of life in both Japan and Hong Kong. It is how families and friends gather. Tourists travel far to taste the famous dishes from these two places. While both cultures value delicious meals, their cooking styles and dining habits are quite different. Japan is famous for fresh seafood. The most well-known Japanese food is sushi. Sushi uses raw fish and special rice. Japanese chefs must train for many years to learn how to prepare sushi perfectly. The quality of the fish is the most important thing. Japanese food usually looks very beautiful and simple on the plate. It focuses on the natural taste of the ingredients. Another very popular dish is ramen. Ramen is hot noodle soup. It is often served quickly and is a cheap meal. There are many kinds of ramen soup bases. Some are salty and some are rich, like the thick pork broth called tonkatsu. When people eat ramen, they often make a loud slurping sound. In Japanese culture, this sound means that the person is enjoying the food very much. The food culture in Hong Kong is different. Hong Kong is very famous for its tradition of dim sum. Dim sum means touch the heart. These are small portions of food. They include dumplings, steamed buns, and small meat dishes. Dim sum is served in little bamboo baskets. People usually eat dim sum for brunch or lunch. It is a very social activity. Families and friends sit around a large table and share many different baskets of food. Japanese cooking uses a lot of soy sauce, seaweed, and rice. The food preparation is very precise. They rely on the ocean for most of their main ingredients because Japan is an island country. Hong Kong cooking, however, uses different spices and flavors. Hong Kong food is often richer than Japanese food. They use methods like steaming, stir-frying, and deep frying. The meals are often heavier. Hong Kong is also known for its drinks. Sweet milk tea is a favorite drink. It is made from strong black tea and evaporated milk. People drink this tea all day long, often enjoying it with a pastry or a small snack. The dining environments also show these differences. In Japan, some fine dining places can be quiet. People focus on the presentation and taste of the food. In Hong Kong, dining is generally louder and faster. The focus is on sharing, talking, and enjoying the energy of the group. Both countries show how food is more than just eating, it is a way of life. 4. How people live. The daily life of people in Japan and Hong Kong shows great differences. Life in Japan is often described as quiet, organized, and very polite. Following rules and showing respect for others is a major part of Japanese culture. When people meet, they usually do not shake hands. Instead, they bow. This bow is a sign of deep respect for the person they are greeting. This focus on politeness is important in all public places. Public transport, especially trains, is a good example of this quiet culture. Trains in Japan are famous for being silent. People try hard not to make noise. They keep their voices low, and many people avoid talking on mobile phones while traveling. This helps to create a peaceful environment for everyone who is riding the train. This organization and respect for public space help the country run very smoothly every day. Another big influence on Japanese life is modern culture, particularly anime. Anime refers to Japanese animated cartoons and films. These shows are popular not just in Japan, but all over the world. Anime often features complex stories and beautiful artwork. It influences fashion, art, and even how people spend their free time. Many young people enjoy celebrating this culture, sometimes dressing up as characters from their favorite shows. Japan successfully mixes these modern trends with its very old traditions, like tea ceremonies and visits to ancient temples. On the other hand, the lifestyle in Hong Kong is very fast, loud, and full of energy. Because Hong Kong is a small place with many people, the city is very dense. Everything moves quickly and efficiently. Walking down the streets feels exciting because there is always movement and noise. People in Hong Kong speak quickly, and the markets are famous for being loud places where sellers call out to customers. Hong Kong's culture is a unique mix of Eastern and Western influences. For many years, the city was under British rule. This history added many Western traditions to the strong foundation of Chinese culture. For example, people celebrate both traditional Chinese holidays and Western holidays. This blending of different traditions creates a highly energetic and unique atmosphere that defines the city. You can see this mix clearly when you find quiet, small temples nestled between giant, modern skyscrapers. In summary, if a person wants a peaceful, ordered, and quiet experience, Japan is the better choice. If a person is looking for noise, speed, excitement, and a unique combination of cultures, Hong Kong offers a completely different but equally successful way of life. Both places show different ways that modern cities in Asia can thrive. 5. Work and money. Money and work are important parts of life in both Japan and Hong Kong. They both have strong economies, but they work in very different ways. Japan's economy is one of the biggest in the world. Hong Kong's economy is smaller, but it is very specialized. Japan is famous for making physical products. This is called manufacturing. They build millions of cars every year, like the ones from the company Toyota. They also make many electronics. Think about video games and cameras. Companies such as Sony are known worldwide. Japan exports these goods to almost every country. This requires many factories and a very large workforce across the country. Japan's economy uses its big land and many people to produce things. Technology and quality are very important in Japanese manufacturing. They like to make products that last a long time. Hong Kong does not make many large physical products. Its economy is based mostly on services, especially money and business. Hong Kong is called a global financial hub. A hub is a central place where many things meet. In Hong Kong, banks and large investment companies meet. The city has thousands of offices for businesses from around the world. Japan is a large country, so its economy needs to be broad. It covers many areas, from farming and fishing to technology and heavy industry. Hong Kong is a very small city. It cannot grow much food or have huge factories because there is not enough space. Therefore, Hong Kong focuses on being the best at one thing, moving money and helping with international trade. Both places do a lot of business with other countries. Japan sells its cars and electronics. Hong Kong helps other countries buy and sell things. Hong Kong is often the gateway for international companies that want to work with mainland China. This trading role is very important. Money moves quickly through Hong Kong. Japan's business style is often slow and careful, focusing on long-term relationships and high quality. Hong Kong's business style is fast and very competitive, focusing on quick deals and efficiency. This difference shows how unique their roles are in the global market. One place makes the goods and the other helps the world pay for them. 6. The water problem. A recent and important problem started between Japan and its neighbors, especially China and Hong Kong. This problem was about water. The water came from the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. This plant had a major accident many years ago. To keep the plant safe, a lot of water was used to cool the reactors. This cooling water became contaminated. Japan worked for years to clean this water. They used a special system called ALPS, which stands for Advanced Liquid Processing System. This system removes almost all the dangerous materials from the water. The only material that remains is tritium, which is difficult to remove completely. Japan said that the level of tritium in the treated water was very low. They said it was safe to release the water into the large ocean. In the summer of 2023, Japan began to execute its plan. They started slowly releasing the treated water. Japan stated that the release was necessary to safely decommission the power plant. They planned to release the water over a period of about 30 years. They promised to check the ocean water and the fish constantly to make sure everything was safe for people and nature. However, the government in China and the government in Hong Kong were very worried. They did not agree with Japan's scientific statements. They said that even if the water was treated, it might still harm the environment. Their main concern was the quality and safety of seafood. They worried that fish caught near Japan would be dangerous to eat, and this would hurt the health of their citizens. This disagreement quickly caused political tension. The Chinese government expressed strong opposition to the water release plan. They saw it as a risk to the marine environment across East Asia. This specific event caused difficulties in the trade of food products. Following the concerns, China decided to take action. They stopped importing or buying all seafood that came from Japan. This ban was a serious economic blow to Japanese fishermen. Hong Kong, being a special administrative region of China, followed this decision. Hong Kong announced its own strict rules and banned seafood from 10 different regions of Japan. The water problem became a major topic of discussion. Japan emphasized the scientific data and the monitoring systems they put in place. They tried to show the world that the water was safe. But China and Hong Kong emphasized caution and the protection of their own food supply. This event highlighted how a local environmental issue in one country can quickly create international tension and affect trade between neighboring places. The conflict was a clear example of how science, politics, and fear can mix together in real life. 7. Rules and real life. Hong Kong is a special administrative region of China. When the disagreement about the treated water from Japan started, the Hong Kong government had to make a choice. The government listened to the central government in Beijing. The choice was to ban certain seafood products from Japan. This was a very strict rule. The rule said that fish and other seafood from 10 regions near the Fukushima area were not allowed in Hong Kong. This ban started in the year 2023. The government made this decision to ensure the safety of all citizens. They worried that the treated water could make the seafood dangerous to eat. This political action created tension. The ban affected many businesses, including fish markets and Japanese restaurants in Hong Kong. The government's priority was public health and following the mainland's concerns about the water release plan. However, the real life of the people in Hong Kong often looks different from government policies. Even with the strict ban on seafood, the love for Japan remained very strong. Many Hong Kong people still consider Japan one of their favorite places to visit for holidays. They love the culture, the polite people, the shopping, and the food that was not banned. Large numbers of tourists from Hong Kong continued to travel to Japan. They went for sightseeing and vacation, ignoring the political issues. This high number of visitors shows an important separation. People can separate the political decisions made by leaders from their own personal preferences. A person might agree with the safety ban, but they still want to visit the country. For many tourists, the political argument about the water did not change their travel plans. They simply chose to enjoy the organized life and beautiful nature Japan offers. The continued high tourism numbers proved that the personal love for Japanese culture was stronger than the recent political problem. For the average person, choosing a holiday destination is a personal choice, not a government order. This contrast between the strict rules and the high number of visitors is a key point in understanding the relationship between Hong Kong and Japan. 8. The end of the lesson. This lesson has finished our look at Japan and Hong Kong. We have seen how these two places in East Asia are special. First, we looked at geography. Japan is an archipelago, meaning it has many islands. It is a huge country and has mountains and snow. Hong Kong is very small. It is a peninsula with very tall skyscrapers. This size difference affects everything. Next, we compared their cultures. Japanese life is often quiet and very organized. People use bowing to show respect. Hong Kong life is faster and louder. It is a mix of old Chinese ways and Western influences. The food is also different, fresh sushi and hot ramen versus tasty dim sum and sweet milk tea. We also saw how they earn money. Japan is a giant in manufacturing. They make famous electronics and cars that the whole world uses. Hong Kong is a financial hub. It is famous for global banks and trading markets. It helps connect businesses worldwide. Recently, we discussed the political tension. Japan released treated water from the Fukushima plant. This made the Chinese government and then Hong Kong worried about seafood safety. Hong Kong put a ban on seafood from some Japanese areas. This showed that political decisions can be strict. However, the story does not end with disagreement. Despite the rules made by governments, people still love both places. Many tourists from Hong Kong continue to travel to Japan for holidays. They enjoy the polite service and beautiful sights. People travel to Hong Kong for its energy and shopping. Both Japan and Hong Kong are highly respected globally. They show two different paths to success in Asia. Japan offers history, nature, and deep tradition. Hong Kong offers modern speed, powerful business, and a vibrant city experience. They are like two unique jewels, each shining with its own light. This comparison teaches us about diversity. It shows that being different is good. In the end, mutual respect for different cultures and ways of life is the most important lesson we learned.